impromptu speech and see what y'all want me to talk about. Do y'all want me to talk about my professional life? Education? How about family? Oh, okay, so family it is. Okay, just give me about a minute so that I can write a few stuff down and then we can get started. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, my family. I have two brothers. I'm the middle child. My oldest brother is 11 months apart. Me and him are 11 months apart. But he's very immature. Everybody thinks he's the youngest. I believe because he was so spoiled. Of course, my mother, we're a pretty close family, but being the only girl, it was a little hard for me. They were strict with me. Wasn't able to go out like my brothers. I never understood why, because I felt like it should be equal, but it wasn't. I was 18 years old when I was allowed to finally date and go out on a date, but my curfew was 9, so what was the use? The party just barely got started. So I ended up having, of course, my brothers at that time we were close, so they were like, oh, she can go to the movies with me, so that way I can meet my boyfriend, which is not my husband. But finally, when I graduated, they gave me a curfew to 11, and I'm like, okay. But at least I had respect for most person that I have respect for is my dad, of course. I was daddy's girl. I was spoiled. My mom had a problem with it. We were still close, but it still bothered her. Until this day, I'm just really close to my dad, and he finally understood how I felt not dating, and now allowing me to, because I always felt like, wouldn't you rather have somebody come to the door and know who I'm going out with than I just sneak out and you never know if something happens and you're like, where is she? But being said that, I was allowed to date, and finally. Because I didn't really have a sister, and at that time, I dated my husband at that time. We were high school sweethearts. I consider my sister-in-law sister. So we go to places and we're like, everybody thinks we're sisters and we're not. We're just sister-in-laws, but that's how close we are. We tell each other everything, whether it's good or bad, and we give each other advice. My dad is from Mexico. My mom is from here. So I used to spend all my summers in Mexico, which is Rosita, Coahuila, Mexico is where my dad's from. He joined he came when he was like 14, and at 18 he joined the Marines, so he became a U.S. citizen that way. My grandma was a teacher, so we come from, a family that are educated, and they went to college and all that. My two brothers, I have a brother who went to the Army, my dad went to the Marines, of course, but they never went to college, so I'll be the first one in the family of my side of the family and my husband's side that will be the first to graduate from a college. As far as being close, I was close to my brothers when I wasn't hitting them with the broom and stuff, because I'm like a Cinderella story, I had to sweep and cook and do all the little girly things while they get to be outside playing, and they used to come inside and dirty the floor, so I would hit them with the broom. So they're protective either way it goes, no matter what, but Now it's a little different as we have our own families and we do our own things. We don't get to spend Sundays like we used to a long time ago and Sunday dinners and stuff. But we're still going to be there for each other regardless. And now that I have my daughters, I'm not as strict on them. And at first I used to have my dad like, what are you doing? Don't let them go. Dad, I'm not going to have them like you had me, so they're okay. And they're growing up and they're fine, and I'm equal with the girls as I am with my son. So I feel like that's the way it should be. But cultural is different, you know, they're from Mexico. You're supposed to cook and clean and do all that, but it's different now. And I think I've done a great job with my family, so I learned from there. And that's about all. I mean, my dad taught me to have an education. At that time, of course, we were never fortunate to go to college, and now I am, and they're proud of me, and that's all that matters, is to see my dad be proud of me. So that's about all I have. Thank you.